Can you show me the PGM ones, please? Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra. Well, the IPO space is truly buzzing, and on this show, we're going to be talking about the upcoming Keystone Realtors IPO. Now, the Rustomjee Group company-owned Keystone Realtors has actually fixed the price band of the upcoming IPO at 514 to 541 rupees per equity share. Remember, the IPO is set to open for subscription on November 14. And now to discuss more details on this issue, I'm joined by the company's top management. Mr. Baman Irani joins in, the chairman and Managing Director of Keystone Realtors. Welcome, Mr. Irani, to Business Today TV, and thank you so much for taking the time out. Well, first up, help us understand the objective of launching this IPO, and also could you also help us with some insights on why has the issue size been reduced to 635 crores, which was earlier supposed to be 850 crores?
So let me start with the second question, Sakshi, and thank you very much for having me on the show. The second question was, why did we drop the size of the issue? We saw robust sales and we did not have any use for the sales proceeds. That's why we took the opportunity to reduce the size of the IPO as of right now. And as far as, Keystone Realtors, Rustomjee, as is better known to the, consumers, decided to go IPO because of a long series of progressive changes that we've made in the company. We've continually been an evolving company, and we worked with debt, we worked with private equity. We've built a company that is transparent. We built a company that is, accountable in every way. And that's why we've decided to now use the IPO route to come to the public and allow for a larger stake or a larger community of shareholders to benefit from being there in the public space.
Okay, understood that. Now help us understand what will the net proceeds be used for. I remember that, there's a 560 crores which will be raised via the fresh issue, and the rest of it will be the OFS by the existing promoters and shareholders. But of the fresh issue, what are you going to be using it for?
So what we've stated in the RHP is about 341.6 crores will be used to retire debt. Our debt is not very high, but this debt is being retired because it'll become free cash flow for us from the projects that we are completing. And this is debt on the projects that we are completing. Further, about 219 crores will be used for general purposes, general corporate purposes, which is again going to be growth capital itself. So overall, a large sum of this money would be used for growth capital of the company.
Okay. Also, help us understand what will be the promoter shareholding then post this issue size?
As of closing of the IPO, we will be about 86.7% as promoters. And of course, we have a mandatory requirement of going down to 75% in about 3 years' time. So actually, over here, it's very important for me to state that, as a group, we've built our investment philosophy around being asset light. And we've continued to be in the JV, JD and redevelopment space, especially in Mumbai and MMR only.
Yeah. Right. Also, Keystone Realtors has really completed about 32 projects already. There are 12 which are ongoing, 19 that are forthcoming, and that's across Mumbai. So give us an insight into what is the gestation period going to be for these new and upcoming projects for you, and when will the revenue start flowing in?
I'm constrained by what I can say and can't say, and this being the first time, I would err on the side of caution. What I can tell you is a large portion of our developments and redevelopments continue to be in what we call mid-mass to aspirational, apartments. Just to give you an idea, mid-mass to mass is the 1 to 3 crore rupees segment, and aspirational is the 3 to 7 crore rupees segment. All data points towards this being the largest market that we can serve in MMR area, Mumbai included. And this is where Rustomjee is focused. 70% of our portfolio ongoing, as well as forthcoming, will continue to be in this segment. At the same point of time, Rustomjee is going to continually improve its stake in the redevelopment projects of Mumbai. As we are aware, Mumbai is becoming a younger city by virtue of all the redevelopments taking place. And Rustomjee has this experience from 2002-03, when we've been doing redevelopments in the city. And we've completed 1,400 homes in the redevelopment space. And we plan to continue growing our foothold in this area.
Okay. And how has the demand been across different segments for you in the real estate sector? And which of your verticals do you really see the growth coming from, say, in the next 3 to 5 odd years?
So Rustomjee is placed across all asset types in terms of value. everything from affordable housing, which is the sub 1 crore, going into the premium, which is, or super premium, which is roughly around, 15 crores plus is what we call it. At various times, the cycles kind of, match up. And post-COVID, what we've seen is the premium and super premium segment, especially in Mumbai city, has done extremely well. If I were to just tell you some data that we've got from Prop Equity, the total absorption of Mumbai city has been about 88,000 units last year in the same 3 quarters of the calendar year. And this year it's about 124,000 in the same part of the calendar year of 2022. And the inventory of Mumbai, so this is about a 40% jump in absorption. At the same point of time, the inventory has come down by 11% from 202,000 units to about 179,000 units. So overall, both this data points towards a growing market out here. 70% of our revenues will continue to come out of mid to mass and aspirational category, like I've already mentioned. And we'll keep growing up even in premium.
Okay. Also, but there's one point that everybody has been talking about in the last 4 or 5, 6 odd months. What we've seen is that there has been a constant hike in the interest rates. Has that in any way, dampened the demand in the real estate sector? And also, if you could expound upon, we've just seen the peak of festive season just gone by. How was the festive demand for you?
So let me tell you, I think I preempted your question by giving you the data of the last 3 quarters of last year as well as this year. In spite of April onwards, I remember the interest rates have been rising. So almost 2 quarters, the interest rates have been rising. Yet the robustness in the demand continues. I don't see this waning at all. If you look at just something as simple as the demand during Diwali, which is the time when most people go out there and purchase homes or anything of value or great value, we've seen across the city the reports that have come out show that even the stamp duty collections have been probably higher than October last year. This year too.
Okay. Also help us, give us some more insight into the company. You talked about the asset light model. We also have seen that the company has adopted an integrated real estate development model. So what margins have you been working with so far, and how do you really see them panning out for you?
So we are probably one of those companies that has got an end-to-end in terms of development potential. Everything from business development to design, to execute, to approvals, to execution, to sales and marketing, and project management is done by the company itself. Again, over here, I'd like to state that 178 of my 600 plus in terms of bench strength are only in the sales and marketing of the company. This gives us robust sales. A number to share with you would be 301 apartments sold in under 100 days in a project that we launched. And generally, the cycle that we follow is about 35% of the sales takes place on launch, about 40% takes place through the life cycle of the project, and about 20% to 25% we try to sell closer to completion or immediately after completion. This allows us to take care of all the inflationary costs that do come up. At the same point of time, we can pace ourselves very well on the sales and also take an upside if there is, on project completion.
Any other areas that you may be looking at foraying in terms of geographies apart from MMR?
I like to say this differently. Mumbai MMR is the golden, city where most of the developers from across the country are looking at coming in. We are fortunate to be a front runner or a dominant player in this market, and we'll continue to grow our strength out here through redevelopments, through JVJDs. We just signed up a very large 1.4 million square feet development in Greenfield with a fellow landowner in Dombivli. Again, we go wherever infrastructure goes, and infrastructure not only in terms of what the government spends, but also where, let's say, data centers or logistics business will grow. We see that a huge upside or a huge, upturn in the residential requirements out there, and companies like us can stand to benefit from that, and that's why we foray into these areas. So Dombivli is something that we've recently signed up, other than a lot of redevelopments that we've been continuously focusing in Mumbai city. In Mumbai city, there are two views that are most sought after, is the blue view and the green view. The blue view being the ocean, which we are blessed with. As a strategy, we've started picking up a lot of properties in the development and redevelopment space across the coastline because of the CRZ rules being relaxed for development. At the same point of time, Mumbai is also blessed with very many large gardens and golf courses. Rustomjee as a focus is moving towards more and more development across these belts to be able to provide a long-term value proposition to our home purchasers.
Okay, understood. And one final question to you then. Going forward from here into the new calendar year, from the realty space, help us understand, are people going to buy more homes? Is it commercial properties that's going to sell more? Any insight that you can give us as to where are we going to see the maximum demand coming from?
So Mumbai, again, is blessed. Mumbai and MMR are many markets in one, like India has many countries in one. We see various types of markets behaving differently. Rustomjee has got a very strong hold in the entire western suburbs and now moving towards the mid-center of the city. These markets will continue to be very good for residential development. As we are all aware, the largest infrastructure spend in the last 60, 65 years has taken place in Mumbai city right now. It's almost like a city undergoing a youth development, and all the buildings that will get developed will add more vibrancy to the city itself. And we as Rustomjee continue to be one of the major developers who will add to this youth of the city. We see a lot of good demand. We have seen a lot of good demand in the last 1 year also towards the developments that we have launched. And we are hoping that this trend does continue.
Will the pricing trends also move on the upside? What are you looking at over there?
What we've seen in the last between 2012 and 2020, the prices were pretty stagnant. It was only after COVID that people started investing or rather wanting to have a better home. Inflationary pressures aside, the real estate prices has not moved, too much. And the government of Maharashtra has been extremely pragmatic. And last year we had an ability to pay premiums at about 50% that really helped the industry overall, and saw projects that were not possible to complete or not possible to take up, given that Mumbai is a very large redevelopment belt. Almost 19,000 buildings, as per some newspaper articles, are dilapidated buildings. This gave a boost to the development and redevelopment of the city. Given that, I don't see prices go under too much pressure. But over here, I'd like to state that the type of locational advantages always add to the value of an apartment, but more importantly, it is the kind of development that adds more value to the apartment. So just to give you an idea, 4 projects are on one particular road itself. They could be totally differently priced. It's no longer the linear north to south price band that continues to exist. Various markets have their own prices depending on what is created out there.
Okay, understood that. Well, on that note, thank you so much, Mr. Rani, for speaking to us and giving us all those insights about the real estate industry and about your upcoming issue. All the very best to you for the issue, and hopefully we'll catch up once the listing also happens. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us. Thank you. And with that, we wrap up this edition. Well, the IPO space, like I said, has been buzzing, and now you have one more IPO to really look forward to. Keystone Realtors is coming up with this IPO. The issue size of 635 crores, out of which the fresh issue will be 560 odd crores. All the details up for you on the screen as well. So do keep an eye out on how these IPOs could actually add value or not. Do speak to your own financial advisor before taking any call on subscribing these IPOs as well. Thank you so much for being with us on this issue.